It wasn't until high school in which I started wearing my hair curly, and that's when I realized that I severely messed up my hair. Hey babes, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm thelaurynicole, and babes, we are back with another video for our healthy hair journey series. Today's video is a topic that I have been dying to share with you guys. Today I'm going to be talking about my natural hair journey. I feel like I always get so many questions about my natural hair journey. How did I start? And has my hair always looked like this? What are my tips and tricks for getting my hair to look like this? Because truthfully, my hair once upon a time did not always look like this. My hair used to look like this, and now we are here and it looks like this. So babes, I think it is safe to say that I am a little bit qualified when it comes to sharing some tea and tips on how to achieve healthy natural curls, especially if you're suffering from heat damage. In addition to that, I'm just going to be sharing with you guys everything that I wish somebody would have told me when I first started my natural hair journey, what products to use, what you really need to be doing, and what you don't really need to be doing. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. I actually wrote like a little list so I can stay on top of everything that I want to talk about today. Starting off with just talking about my natural hair journey. So a little bit about my hair. I was pretty much natural my whole life. My mom was taking care of my hair from the time that I was born until the time that I was in middle school. She was washing it, deep conditioning it, and styling my hair in a lot of braided hairstyles. Honestly, my mom was the person that kept my hair very healthy. It wasn't until I got into middle school and I wanted to start straightening my hair because, you know, my mom, she was doing all four of my sister's hair, and basically she was like, y'all's hair is way too thick, and you know, after time, it just gets to be kind of ridiculous trying to do everybody's hair. So she was like, you know what? Like, you can do your own hair. Not that she wouldn't, you know, if I asked her to help me with the style, she would definitely do that. But I also kind of begged her to let me do my own hair. So I started styling my own hair, and that's when I started straightening it, and it went from beautiful to just a hot mess. I think the reason why I really wanted to start straightening my hair is because my parents are military, so when we moved, I moved to an area where a lot of people didn't look like me and also didn't share the same kind of hair texture that I had, and so I kind of wanted to, I guess, like fit in, and that's when I started straightening my hair. And I mean, I loved my hair straight. It was the vibe. Everybody loved my hair straight, but it would take me hours on end to straighten it. I know, like, my parents, I had this like really bad flat iron that it was probably like $20 if that at Sally's Beauty, and it would burn my hair so bad. You could smell the smell of burning hair throughout the house, and it would linger for the whole night. And I would do this every single week, and then if it would frizz up again like during the week, I would just re-straighten it in the morning. So it was just like fry on top of fry on top of fry. There's even an incident during Thanksgiving or around that time where I can vividly remember I was like trying to pencil curl my hair, because that's also something else that I used to do. I used to take pencils because I didn't want to wear my hair naturally curly, you know, like that's crazy. I wanted to take a pencil and replicate the curls that I already had growing out of my head, and then I would take a flat iron and I would press it up against the pencil and make these like spiral curls, and everybody thought it was so beautiful. I mean, yeah, the natural hair that I had was so beautiful, but I was doing this with my hair, and I had hairspray next to the flat iron that I was using to kind of like make those curls. And the top of the hairspray like canister, the little piece that you would pull off so that you could spray your hair, melted onto the flat iron, and then without even noticing, I put it in my hair, and it was like back over here, and I put it in my hair, and then the melted plastic actually adhered to my hair, and the only way to get that out was to cut it out. So for the longest, my hair actually had like a big weird chop in it, and it would be like my hair was like this kind of. It was super messed up, and to that, I think that should have been my red flag or my wake-up call that we should just let her go, let the straightener go. But no, we kept straightening my hair. I think it wasn't until I got to high school where one of my sisters was like, hey, you should maybe start wearing your hair curly. Now, all of my sisters have beautiful curly hair, and I don't know, at the time I just wasn't really like in love with my hair texture. It was also just kind of like something I was going through internally, because at the time I feel like when you thought of curly hair, you thought of like the really big 3B Pinterest-esque, at the time Instagram curly haired girlies. And I mean, I don't have curls that exactly resemble that. My hair, it kind of goes in a fro, and I have tighter curls, so I was kind of just not really comfortable yet with having my hair like that, especially when, you know, at the time that's not the kind of curls that I was seeing out there. And I don't know, I feel like internally it was just something that I had to get over, obviously, because now I love my hair. I love how different it is. I love the fact that it's actually a tighter curl pattern than what most people see, and I feel like it's what makes me unique and different. But at the time, especially going through, you know, middle school and then going into high school, I was kind of just like, ooh, let me not do that. It wasn't until high school in which I started wearing my hair curly, and that's when I realized that I severely messed up my hair. So at the time, my hair was pretty much looking like this, and truthfully, it was probably a little bit worse than this. I think that this was maybe like the 4th month of me working with my hair. I was trying to find pictures of my hair when it was completely damaged, and babes, we had to dig through the archives to find these, because I feel like I just wanted to tuck them deep in the back of my brain, seeing my hair like that. But with my hair, it was very damaged in the front. There was almost little to no curl pattern, and then in the back there would be a little bit of a curl, but it was a very loose curl, and it's not like the 3C curls that I have now. So it wasn't like my hair was completely damaged all over, but truthfully it was, because it's not how my hair is supposed to curl, and there was like damage in a lot of different parts. I also noticed that with the heat damage came a lot of breakage and a lot of different concerns regarding hydration, where I would have to overhydrate some parts in the back and then not hydrate some parts in the front, just because the damage was so all over the place. It was kind of hard to like target my whole head at once with the same products. So it's safe to say that when I started off my natural hair journey, it was a lot of trial and error and a lot of patience that I had to go through with just trying to get my hair to revert back to any curl in a lot of areas, but in the areas where there was a curl, just trying to revert my curls back to the curls that I remember my hair used to be. So because my hair was all over the place with 2 different curl patterns, and it was just not to the point where I really wanted to start wearing my hair out, I would wear my hair in a lot of like slick back buns or slick back styles just to kind of get it out of the way. With that, I would also layer it in like a hair mask so that my hair could kind of like deep condition while I was at school, because I desperately wanted my curls to come back. In my head, I was like, I can just speed up this process, and if I deep condition my hair, you know, when I get back home and while I'm at school and while I'm sleeping, like the curls will be here by next week. Wrong. Because with that, I noticed that my hair was now starting to feel really gummy, and it was almost going through like a protein overload, if you will. There's too much of the good ingredients that it was almost like canceling itself out. It's kind of just like the saying that too much of anything can still be bad. And you know, just because you over deep condition your hair doesn't mean that your curls are just gonna come back like that. You know, it's gonna take time and patience. So once I noticed that my hair was just not giving what was supposed to give at that time, I would still do the slick back buns because I wanted my hair out of my face, and I still wasn't liking how my hair was looking. But instead of deep conditioning my hair, you know, 24 hours non-stop, I would only deep condition my hair at night, and I would use really all natural ingredients. I remember one of the products that I really loved was this one from TGIN. I used to put this in my hair non-stop, as well as this one from Shea Moisture. These two were my go-tos for my hair, and I feel like these 2 products was really the 2 contributing factors to getting a lot of my curls back. But besides that, if I wasn't using these 2, I would saturate my hair in coconut oil, but not just like any kind of coconut oil. I would use the one that is like the 100% virgin one from Shea Moisture, or just like any coconut oil that you can get that is organic and 100% at the grocery store, only because my hair was truly suffering from hydration. And if you know anything about coconut and coconut oil, it's really going to aid in hydrating your hair. And at the time I didn't know anything about porosity or none of that. I just knew that my hair was dehydrated, it was breaking off, I didn't want to cut off all my hair, and babes, I just wanted my curls back. So that is what I did for a really long time, and I also feel like that helped my hair just to kind of get some moisture back into my hair, especially when in the morning I would wash it out and then I would dry it and then just put my hair into a slick back bun, and I would just keep doing this over and over and over and over. Not doing like the slick back bun and the deep conditioning every single night, but I would do like the deep condition once a week, and I would keep my hair in a slick back bun, or maybe like braid the front and then put it into a bun, making sure to do a lot of low manipulative hairstyles that weren't going to cause more breakage, because that kind of wouldn't make sense being that we're trying to stop the breakage. But basically that was my little routine that I had going for a really good time until I started to see some of my curls coming back. Now, a big question that a lot of people always ask me about my curly hair journey, especially when they see old pictures of my hair, just in the natural hair community, everybody's always talking about a big chop. Now, if you aren't familiar with the term big chop, it's basically when you're going through your natural hair journey and you want to just start your hair new. A lot of people go to a curly hair salon or just any place. Sometimes people do it at home too. Hey, save your coins, and they simply just cut off their hair so they can either start new or shed some damaged curls or whatever their reason may be, just to basically literally big chop, like chop your hair off. So back to what I was saying, a lot of people always ask me about my journey and ask me if I ever did a big chop, and my answer to that is no. I never actually did a big chop. And I feel like people are always so surprised when I say this, because they always think like heat damage, big chop. But for me, if you're anything like me, I didn't want to go and chop off all of my hair. Like truthfully, when I started my natural hair journey, I didn't even want to wear my hair out. So cutting off all of my hair was not in my bingo card either. Like I'm not wearing it out and I'm also not chopping it off. So what are we going to do? Truthfully, I feel like depending on how damaged your hair is and depending on if you want to or not to begin with, you don't necessarily need to go and chop all of your hair off. Now babes, hear me out, because I already know the curly hair police, they're coming for me. If you want to do a big chop, do the big chop, babes, do it. But for me, I feel like I didn't need to, and I was also very scared to, and I know that a lot of my curl friends out there are in the same boat as me. And if you are, then I feel like instead of just doing a big chop, what I did, we're gonna call this the mini chop. So when my hair would be growing out, I would take, you know, my shears, cutting shears, or we go to a professional, and I would slightly trim off the damaged curls that I had. So over time, yes, I was cutting off the damaged hair, but I was also letting my hair grow. So truthfully, over time, you're going to realize that your hair is growing out, the damage is leaving, but you don't have to just straight off cut it off. Now, this is a case-by-case situation, because if you have an excessive amount of heat damage or an excessive amount of breakage, and it would just behoove you to just cut it all off, babes, listen to the professionals and just cut it all off. But in my case, I didn't really deem it necessary, because yes, my hair was damaged, but we could work with her, you know, we could work with her a little bit. So yeah, I didn't really go through with the big chop situation. I more so just let my hair grow, and as it grew, I would gradually cut off the damaged parts, especially like in the bangs area, and eventually my hair grew and it grew out. I do think that it is necessary for you to get routine cuts and trims, which is why I was saying I did cut the damaged parts off. And as I was cutting off the damaged parts of my hair also started to grow a lot faster, and my curls started to become a lot tighter, which is a good sign, because shrinkage is actually a good sign of healthy hair. So I was really excited that my elasticity and my curls were coming back. Obviously, depending on genetics and how fast your hair grows, some people's hair is going to grow a lot faster, so you may not even notice if they're, gradually trimming off their hair because it's like growing like that. And for some people, it may take a little bit longer. So this is pretty much how my hair was looking once I got to that part where a lot of the damaged hair was cut off and my hair was really tight. And I will say my curls, they were very, very, very tight. Like, I think this is the shortest my hair has ever been in my whole life. It was just really short, but it was very healthy, and I was very excited to kind of just start this natural hair journey, and now growing my hair a lot longer, because now that a lot of the damaged hair was gone, it wasn't going to be held down by any damaged hair, and I can actually start growing my hair. So yeah, I mean, honestly, when I look back at this picture of my hair, I cannot believe that that is my hair and this is my hair now. But yeah, that was her in all of her glory. From there, it just took a lot of patience, a lot of routine work, and then just leaving my hair alone to get my hair to where it is now. The difference between seeing my hair from this, which was, I believe, like my I think this was more of like my sophomore year of high school. And then this picture right here is more of my junior / senior year of high school. You can definitely tell the difference between this like lengthwise and this lengthwise. This was about like a year to a year and a half of basically growing out my curls. Now babes, that is pretty much like my whole natural hair journey in a nutshell. And now I'm going to get into the tips and the tea for keeping your hair healthy and growing out your curls, and basically everything that you would want to know if you are just now starting your natural hair journey. My first tip for you would be making sure to define your hair porosity. And this tip is so important because it's going to save you so much money for one, and so much like headache and heartache just trying to find different products that work for your hair. Basically, your hair porosity is understanding how your hair absorbs water and hydration and moisture. So you really want to know this, and a lot of people in the natural hair community, they're always like, oh, you need to know your hair type and things of that nature, which, you know, knowing your hair type is important, but I personally feel like knowing your hair porosity is way more important, because that is actually going to help you find the products that are going to work best for your hair and cater towards your hair. And truthfully, I feel like if I would have known this in the beginning, again, I would have saved so much money on hair products, because I was just buying any product that said hydration. But you know, if you have a low porosity hair, you're gonna need different products than somebody that has high porosity hair. So definitely figuring out your hair porosity and then doing some research on what hair products fit those porosities are perfect. I have a segment on my Curl Talk videos if you're interested on hair porosity and the perfect products for that, so make sure to go check that out. But if you are just more so interested on how to even figure out what your hair porosity is, you can do a simple strand test where you're going to take a piece of clean hair and you're going to put that into some water, and basically if your hair sinks all the way to the bottom, that means that you have high porosity. If it floats, that means that you have low porosity, and if your hair stays pretty much in the middle, that means that you have a medium hair porosity. Now babes, that is just a quick and easy way to figure out your hair porosity, but there are other ways to figure out hair porosity. So, you know babes, do your own, do some research, but that's just my tip and trick for you if you are kind of eager and you want to figure it out and do like a little DIY hair porosity test at home. My next tip is deep conditioning my hair. If you do have damaged hair, like heat damage, deep conditioning your hair is going to be your friend, truthfully, because right now with the heat damaged hair, your hair, she's thirsty, okay? She is damaged, dry, and brittle, and in need of some hydration. So making sure that you deep condition your hair, and not only just deep conditioning your hair, but having a routine of deep conditioning your hair is going to be really important. I think when I first started doing my natural hair journey, I would deep condition my hair 2 times out of the month, and I would really take my time with deep conditioning my hair. If you are interested in any deep conditioning routines, babes, I have one already posted from my healthy hair journey series. This is going to be a DIY hair mask that anybody can do with a few ingredients inside of their kitchen. But if you're more into products, I do have a YouTube video of me going into Ulta and sharing with you guys some of my favorite hair masks, so make sure to give that a look as well. My next tip is learning how to do different protective hairstyles as well as low manipulative hairstyles, because when you first start your natural hair journey, everybody's like, boom, okay babes, let's pop out with the curls out. Wrong. Okay, no, let's not do that, because what we're trying to do right now is kind of like the foundation work. making sure that our hair is healthy enough to pop out with curls out, okay? So making sure that you're doing low manipulative hairstyles so that your hair can grow, as well as doing protective hairstyles and making sure that they're really protective hairstyles, because a lot of people will say like different hairstyles are protective hairstyles, but if you're doing them too tight to the point where your edges are feeling like they're about to pop out of your head, or when you're just feeling like a lot of tug on your scalp, that's not really aiding in protecting your hair. If anything, in my opinion, that's more damaging it. And protective hairstyles can become damaging if you leave them in too long, or if there's too much of like a tug with your hair. Babes, I'm telling you, you do not want that for your hair. I don't want that for your hair, okay? Please, please. And now my next tip is going to be a no-brainer, but I'm going to say it anyways. Stay away from the heat. We're gonna say it one more time for the girlfriend in the back that's not listening. Stay away from the heat. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that you can never straighten your hair. I'm not saying that. In a few months, I'm probably gonna straighten my hair because we have to do a trim. I also wanna do a little length check. Make sure y'all stay tuned for that video. But in the beginning of your natural hair journey, especially if you are suffering from heat damage, babes, how do you think the heat damage got there? Stay away from the heat, okay? Like, stay away from the heat is going to do you so much good. If you have to diffuse your hair, diffusing it on a low heat, or even cool, it's going to take a lot longer, but at least you won't be, you know, frying your hair on top of already fried, dyed, and laid to the side hair. So just stay away from the heat. Promise me you're going to stay away from the heat, okay? My next tip would definitely be to have a really good oiling routine, more so for oiling your scalp. Oiling my scalp and massaging my scalp really helped me to grow out my curls, so I really do vouch for that. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to share with you my curly hair oiling routine. My next one is a really good one, and one that I wish I would have known when I first started my curly hair routine, and that would be to follow other curly hair influencers that have similar hair to you. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go unfollow all the people that don't have hair similar to you, but I will say that it made it a lot easier for me to accept my curls for me and to see my curls in a different light when I followed creators that had my similar hair type, because the products that they would recommend would be products that possibly I could use if we had the same porosity or the same hair type, as well as when they would do different curly hairstyles, I could actually imagine myself doing that hairstyle instead of having to be like, well, like I'd have to do this or do something different. Of course, follow whoever you want to follow, but this is a tip that really helped me. And hopefully maybe someday I'll be that special influencer or content creator for somebody out there watching today's video. My next tip is about my nighttime routine. And so let me know in the comments as well if you want me to share with you guys my curly hair nighttime routine. But more specifically, just investing in a really good bonnet or a satin pillowcase. It's gonna be great for when you're starting off your natural hair journey. This is going to help make sure that you aren't breaking off any more of your hair while you're sleeping. And my last tip for today would just have to be patient and remember that healthy hair grows, and not to value length over the health of your hair. It's so easy for a lot of curl friends to be like, oh, I don't care, I just want my hair to be super duper long. But truthfully, if your hair is really long and it's not healthy, what's the point? For me, I feel like my hair has grown the most when it was at its healthiest point. So making sure that my hair is healthy from my roots to my tips is always going to be my #1 priority when it comes to my hair, because obviously, like I've said once, like I've said twice, like I will always say, healthy hair grows. Now babes, this is the end of today's video. I'm so happy to be able to share this video with you guys. It's the first curly hair video of 2025, and we're starting it off with a bang. I hope that you girlfriends are ready for next week's video, as I am so excited to share with you guys what it is. But as always, let me know in the comments what videos you would love to see from my healthy hair journey series so that I can make videos that are directly answering your questions. And before we wrap up today's video, I want to thank you guys so much for all of the love and support that you guys shared on my last video. I think the last time that I checked, that video was at 8,000 views, and we've gained so many new curl friends here on the channel. So if you're new here and you came from the previous video, I just want to say hi, and I'm so happy that you're here on this healthy hair journey with me. But if this is your first time checking out one of my videos and you like what you see and want to see more videos just like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like today's video, and leave a comment, and I will see you babes next week. Bye!